I'm going to go over how to add a new grenade type to AGLS. Jacob's already recorded a video for this, but it's for the older IWALS version of the project, and not everything is the same between these two versions of the project. To get started, you want to open up these blueprints, the base character, the overlay states and MBP, the grenade hold and MBP, the overlay layer interface, and the throwable object type enum. The first one we want to open is the enum, and we want to add a new enumerator, and this will be the name for our new grenade type. So for an example, I'm just going to put a brick. It doesn't necessarily have to be a grenade, it can also be just a throwable. Then we want to open the base character blueprint, and you can search for grenade, and we want to open three functions: the grenade's main function, the check system bugs, and we also want to open the player input graph and open the shooting graph. And we want to go right here to the throwable object type node. We'll see input for the new grenade type we added. Just plug that into the throwable object type notify here. In the grenade's main function, we'll see the same switch on node. And we want to plug the input that we just created into the branch here. And that other function didn't open. Check system bugs. And we'll see the input here again, plug that into the sequence node, and we can compile. Next, we want to create a blueprint for the grenade. So we'll go to the master class here and create a child blueprint. And I'm just going to name it BP brick. We can open that, and under the details panel here, where grenade state is, we can choose our new grenade type. And in the event graph, this is where you can create your logic for your grenade or throwable. The event that you'll need to use is event explode. This event gets called after the grenade is thrown from your hand, and then you can create whatever logic you need to. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to use a print string just to show it works. Back in the base character, under the details panel, you scroll all the way to the bottom, and under interaction with object, you'll see grenades, and then grenade structure. And we want to add a new input to this. And this is where we can fill out all the information for our new grenade type. So the name, state, class. So we just select everything we've created so far. You can choose the mesh here, the max quantity, and the starting quantity. And then as long as some other values, and if you have any icons. Whatever mesh that you're going to use, you want to select it here and in the new blueprint we created as well. But I'm just going to use the default one for now. Now we want to open the overlay states and MBP and click this arrow beside the anim graph, and we can open the throwable object holding poses. And we want to right click and create a new state, and we can call it after the new grenade type we've created. I'm going to drag from the conduit to the new state we've created, and then from the new state to the conduit to create two transitions. You can select one of the states that are already here and copy this grenade transition and paste it into the custom blueprint event here. Now we can open the conduit to brick, and we can get the throwable object holding variable, and we want to add a equals enum and plug that into the can enter transition, and make sure you select your new grenade type. And in the other transition, brick to conduit, we want to get that same variable and add a not equals. And select our grenade type, plug that into the can enter transition. We can compile that. Next, we want to open the overlay layer interface and add a new animation layer. And I'm going to name this the same way he's done the other ones. And for the group, we can change that to ungrouped. Now back in the overlay state and MVP, we can open the brick state, And we'll have our new animation layer here, and we can drag that out. And we want to check these two boxes here, receive notifies and propagate notifies. And we can plug that into the output. Now we're done in this animation blueprint, and we can open the grenade hold anim BP, and you'll see he has these other animation layers here, and from my understanding, they all have the same code in them. So you can just copy it from one of them and open up our new animation layer and paste it. And we want to plug that into the output. Now in our level, we can drag out the new grenade blueprint. And I believe everything should be set up correctly, so we can give it a test. There's our new grenade that we created. And if we throw it, you can see after about 3 or 4 seconds we get the print string, so everything seems to be working correctly. And that's pretty much it. A question I see get asked often is how can you start with or without a rope in the project? So to do this, what you want to do is open up these 3 blueprints: the base character, the wheeled overlay state menu widget, and the player character blueprint interface. In the base character, you want to create a new variable and make it a boolean, and we can call it start with rope. And we want to select instance editable, compile, and then you can decide if you want the player to start with or without a rope by default. I'll leave it as false for now. Next, we want to open up the onBeginPlay part 2 function. And in here, we want to add a new pin. And we want to, under the components tab, drag out the hook rope swing variable. Drag off of that and search for set child actor class. And we want to add a branch. You can just hold a left click and press B to get one quickly. Drag out our new variable we created, plug that into the condition, and plug the set child actor class into false. So what this is saying is if start with a rope is false, then we will set the child actor class type to none. And on true, we're going to just leave it as it is because currently the child actor class is already setting the rope actor, so we don't need to do it again. We can just hook the branch up to the new pin on the sequence. Can compile that. And in the interface, we want to create a new function called get current rope actor. And we want to add an output, and the type should be actor. And we can just call this return value. Compile that. In the base character, we'll be able to open our new interface function, get current rope actor. We want to drag the hook variable back out and search get, what is it called, get child actor, and plug that into the return value. And now open the what is this called, wheeled overlays menu, and open the function make overlay states to be visible. And what we want to do is right click and search get as character. Right click on that and convert it to a validated get. Drag off the as character, and we're gonna search for the new interface function we just created, get current rope actor. We want to plug the get validated get character into the rope pin here, and we want to drag off the return value here and get an is valid node. And if it is valid, we can just copy from here and add it to the overlay. Make this look a little bit nicer. And that should be everything. Something we can do to make it look a little bit nicer is put this in a category with everything else, which he's got the other one's under config here. Compile that. Now if we select the character in our level, we should see the boolean here. Start with rope, so I'll leave it as false, and if we press play and we open the menu, we'll see there's no rope overlay to select. You will get these errors, and to fix those, you can just click on the blueprint here and it'll take you to it, and just convert this to a validated get and plug that into here, and that will remove the errors. But if we set this to true now and we press play, you'll see the rope is in the menu and we can select it now. That's pretty much it.